very good day to you. I'm Howard Feldman, and welcome to another Synthesis podcast. Today is indeed a very, very special day because today, April the 1st, is a graduation ceremony with for Afrika Tikkun services. What are they? What is Afrika Tikkun services? Well, they provide vulnerable youths with learnership. Synthesis Technologies has, in fact, been involved in this, and today, 25 new learners have graduated. The learners who reside in disadvantaged communities across Johannesburg will be completing and complete the Synthesis Learnership Program, and graduation. It took place today. It's a 12-month program, and we are very, very excited to have been part of this incredible initiative. Joining us on the podcast today are two of the top learners, a top academic learner, Sudeshni Moodley, as well as top learner, Sohail Dhoda. We are also joined by Onyi Nwaneri, who is the CEO of Afrika Tikkun Services, as well as Eldridge Jordan. He's the founder and CEO of GovChat, and he had the privilege, actually, of speaking to the graduation class. So good day, everybody, and welcome. Well done to well done to Sohail, well done to Sudeshni. How are you guys feeling at the moment?
Thank you, Howard. I'm quite surprised and excited at the same time. A lot of emotions.
I'm sure. I am sure, and well-deserved emotions. Sudeshni, you too. You were a little overwhelmed earlier when we started chatting.
I was actually surprised. I never expected this to happen.
Absolutely incredible. Onyi, how are you feeling? It must be a sense of almost motherly pride.
Exactly. You just took the words out of my mouth. I am absolutely proud. I am excited. I feel like, every time I see our graduates leaving us, just like a mother, you have a sense of mixed happiness and sadness at the same time.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Eldridge Jordan, welcome to this podcast. You were the speaker at the graduation event earlier. Will you give us some sense of the message that you gave to the graduates?
Good afternoon, Howard. Good afternoon to all the panelists on this podcast. Let me first of all say, I think I'm more emotional than the graduates themselves, because it is a massive achievement to kind of make it out in a very tough time, very tough period, and to still see it through on the other end. So really excited that we have a group of graduates that, future just looks amazing. And so I'm really excited to be able to have, shared a bit of my story coming from the Cape Flats, and really just being able to kind of share with them the power of not giving up, the power of seeing it through, but more importantly, being able to hold hands with one another. When we are able to invest in one another, I definitely believe that this country is a special place. And I really need to thank, Afrika Tikkun and Synthesis for investing in our young people. It really is the game changer. I believe if you look at many Western countries and the difference between Western countries and countries that are still developing, you'll see that the investment in people is the biggest investment that those countries or governments could make. And so I really need to thank Afrika Tikkun and Synthesis for investing in our young people. I will tell you that many people have invested in my life, and Capital Appreciation Synthesis are one of them. And it's because of you that we are able to do what we do. We cannot do these things on our own. It is not government's responsibility on its own. It's not citizens' responsibility or the private sector on its own. But collectively, if we invest in one another, I believe that this is going to be a magical space and place. And to our young people that have just graduated, I am so excited for you. And as I said this morning, don't ever give up. Don't ever take no for an answer. And failure is not an option. Let me remind you about that this morning. As I said, failure is not a option. And again, congratulations. We are so proud of you. Really looking forward to the amazing journey that you are going to go through. It's going to be tough. Make no mistake.
That's what I actually want to ask you, Eldrid. You and I have had many a conversation, both in media and privately, about some of the terribly difficult moments that you had to endure, and they were very real. And that's certainly what I relate to, because I think that we often look at other people and we think, oh, well, you know, it's been easy, or look where he is today, or look where she is today. But the reality is that no journey is without tremendous adversity. And maybe some of the learners have had to face real adversity earlier on in life, whereas others maybe were protected a little bit more from that. But all of these build resilience and life skills to be able to deal with what is going to be inevitable along the way. And Eldrid, if you could just take one of those moments and just share it with us, with our listeners, and with the panel as well, I'd appreciate it.
So I think, you know, what many people don't understand, it's really easy to talk about the current and the success and, you know, how good things are right now. But many people don't understand that there's a cost in the journey. And it's through that fiery furnace that we are made better people. And so I would really say that it is important for us to start and continue to tell our stories, because it is those stories that is really able to empower young people, and for them to understand that if it's possible for Eldrid Jordan, that comes from the Cape Flats, that started with nothing, that lost it all. You know, even though I've had a family, I've got 3 amazing, you know, girls, and at a time I was not able to provide for them. I was not able to provide food and security. And as I've said before, I lost everything. I needed to move back into my mom's home. My daughters got suspended from school. Tough situations, right? But I guess it's through those moments, and again, where people come and they reach out to you, people like Capital Appreciation and Synthesis, Afrika Tikkun. Again, you know, those are the moments that really make us, because we cannot do this on our own. We can't do it for everyone, but I think that those that are really blessed to have received a helping hand, those stories must be told. And I believe that if we can hold hands with one another, starting with our neighbors, starting in our communities, if we can hold one another's hands, I promise you that it's going to be a better place. Because we cannot do these things on our own. It is impossible. I believe what happened to me was supernatural. It is not normal for someone from the Cape Flats to have survived what he has done, because my story is not unique. There are many people that go through the same story that I have, but many are not as fortunate. I think that they give up, right? And I was really lucky not to have given up, and look now, Howard.
Incredible. So Onyi, I want to bring you in here, because I see you nodding. You must see these stories as in your position as CEO of Afrika Tikkun Services. You've got to be seeing these stories almost every single day. Take me through what you're thinking right now.
I could really relate to what Eldrid was saying. We see young people who come from absolutely devastating environments, who against all odds, succeed with the right support. And so I understand. That's why I couldn't help but keep nodding my head to say, I know a couple of people who left to their own devices, they would not complete a 12 months learnership. They would not even complete, for some of them for whom we give bursaries, they're not able to complete a tertiary education, because the truth is that life is hard. Life is not just hard for them as individuals. Life is hard for them in the context of family. I've had instances where young people have come to me and said, I need to drop out so that I can go and hustle for additional income in order to take care of my family. Because when you live in a privileged environment, it's often easy to feel like there's a dad and a mom who's going to take care of you, and that there are parents who are there for you. A lot of the young people that we work with are breadwinners. Not just breadwinners of other children or other young people that they've got to take care of. Sometimes they have parents who have had accidents, or parents or grannies who are taking care of them, and they have to, contribute to the family. So I absolutely understand what it means to be down and out, and what it means for young people to come to a 12 months program that enables them, one, to increase their knowledge and their skills, but most importantly, to access an income. One of the speakers of today's graduation, Graham, said that this learnership was not just about the knowledge and skills. The income that he earned throughout the 12 months was able to put food on the table for their family, not just for him, for his entire family. He was the lifeline for them throughout that 12 months. And so we see, that's why I say it is a joyous occasion for us, because it's not just the journey of one student, it's the journey of families. It's the journey of families to help break them out of poverty. And I'm glad to tell you that at the end of this process, we're already seeing majority of the graduates moving into permanent employment, moving into continuous opportunities that is going to enable this thing we do sustainable. And therefore, I want to applaud you, Eldrid, to say, we're so moved that at the end of his speech, everyone stood up and clapped, because we could relate, because we understood. And you were an inspiration for a lot of people to want to be more, to know that, this is just the beginning, and everything about life is a journey. I remember one of the last words you said, if you dream it, you can do it. And you've inspired some of our learners today to dream, not just to enter into entry-level jobs post this learnership, to dream to progress in their careers. And I've said to them, I want to see CEOs coming through. I want to see, people in management. I want to see people in politics coming through. Because if you consider where you are coming from and you dwell on it, then you're never going to go anywhere. And for us, the excitement is that these 25 learners have already broken out of the cycle of poverty. And our job as Afrika Tikkun Services is to support them, to see them through, to access the economy in a sustainable way.
Thank you. I mean, look, it's actually quite an emotional podcast to record, just because it is very real, and it is very, very much the positive of the very negative side of what is South Africa. It's the best of the heart of South Africa, even given the difficult circumstances. Sudeshni, can I bring you in on this? You are the top academic learner. Were you aware of that before today?
Hi, Howard. No, I was not aware. It took me completely by surprise. And my manager, Pandi, was just begging me to come through to graduation, because at the time I didn't think I was able to make it due to unforeseen circumstances. But I got here and I was so shocked when they called my name. I even pointed to myself to look around if I'm the right person.
Was that me? Right. Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. Tell us a little bit about your journey, some of the struggles that you faced. Well, that which you're comfortable to share with us. I don't want you to share something that you're not comfortable about.
Well, it started off all right, but due to COVID and stuff, it was a lot of self-discipline and self-learning. a lot of, you had to push yourself in a way that you weren't able to come to class, but at the same time, you have to read up on what you're doing to understand. And I found that when I understood it, self-learning is, I think, the best for me, because I remember it when I go over it in my head. And Google helped a lot as well. If I couldn't understand the textbooks, but I had to go that extra mile, which was like not the norm, but I did enjoy it thoroughly, because once I learned it on my own, I got to understand how it works properly. So yeah, I think it was just COVID, and also
made it, yeah. Absolutely. The top learner, Sohail, share your experience with us, and maybe you can share a bit about your background as well.
So my journey is quite interesting, though. You see, I'm actually quite young, though. I turned 19. It's like the beginning of my career. So this is like the first taste of life, I would say. Like, in essence, this is like the first taste of reality for me. Like, before this, I was very much sheltered. My father's son, he looked after me like an egg. And then this was just like a taste in the real world, to transport to my classes. It was huge responsibility to budget money and to run out of budget money. And to also put in time for work and also put in time for my studies so that nothing falls behind. And getting into the learnership, I'll be honest with you, at the beginning of the learnership, I didn't know a thing about computing. I was clueless. But, I put in the effort, put in a little bit more than what I was supposed to. And now that I stand today, I'm proud to say that I do web development on the side, and I can develop programs, I can create databases. There's a whole array of things that I've picked up and done from this learnership that I applied to myself, that I started a small business where I design websites for clients, I post the websites for the clients. So it's boosted me in unimaginable ways. And I plan on studying further. I plan on getting my degree in computing. So that's what I'm planning to do for the coming years, because I really want to push, and I'm excited, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity from Afrika Tikkun and Services. They've given me a chance, and I want to nurture this chance. And obviously, that I've been gifted an opportunity, I would like to take and try to give back when I am able to give back to the people that haven't been given this opportunity, to help where I can help, to offer lessons to people that are interested in computing, to offer my advice, offer my knowledge. And I'm really thankful for having this opportunity as well. And even to see, the greatest thing for me, it's not the money, it's not the certification, it's to see the pride in my father's eyes of his son, that my father can look at me and be proud of me, which is the most amazing thing I can say under the sun. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity.
So, Sohail, if I have to ask you, what's the dream? And Sudeshni, I'm coming to you as well. So you've got a second to think about that.
So for me, where I stand currently is, my dream is to become a solutions architect. I feel that I got that spark to add input, to be able to come into a situation where things are falling apart, come inside and add decent input that could affect and help the team as a whole. Where I feel that would be my potential goal, to become a solutions architect. But I see, before I get to that stage where I can be assisting people, I have to assist myself. So I need to further my knowledge before I can pursue that goal.
Sudeshni?
Well, for me, it's given me this opportunity where I can take a complete 360 turn regarding my career, because now I've been given the tools to start afresh all over again. And I feel like programming and development is where I'm leaning more toward. And I didn't think I would find it so enjoyable and exciting, but I did. And I think I want to further my career going through that path, learning pathwise. I'm going to take every opportunity afforded to me, because I really enjoy this, and I think that this is the way to go.
Absolutely amazing. Onyi and Eldrid, I'm going to come to you just before we wrap up. But Onyi, one message for the learners.
I just want to encourage the learners to know that we are behind them 100%. We are. The reason why we exist as Afrika Tikkun is to enable young people to become economically empowered. We are not happy with the unemployment crisis that we see in the country. If you know the current stats, that's 2.5% of our current productive population are unemployed, of which close to 56% of them are young people. Those young people are the people that we say are our future generation. They are our current hope for a different South Africa. And so I want to challenge, that's the same thing I said to them when I was giving my vote of thanks, to challenge them to realize that the future of our country rests on their shoulders. they have the ability to dream and to be whatever they want to be, because an organization like Afrika Tikkun Services is in support of them. We want them to show up 100%, not just 100. I said to them, if you want to be successful, it's always about how you show up every time. And we would like to challenge our learners, our young people as they graduate today, to know that people are watching. And if people are watching, then it's your responsibility to show up not just 100%, 200%, to show with people what is possible, the talent that God has put in you that will enable them to say, how do I take you to the next level? I said, well, one last thing I also said to them was Eldrid did not just get successful by accident. Eldrid positioned himself correctly. If he did not go to LinkedIn in the way that he was, positioning his ideas, positioning his thoughts, positioning his dreams and his vision on LinkedIn, someone would not have picked up on that talent, that vision, and invested up to, in the first instance, according to your story, Eldrid, $1 million, that's 10 million rands. But it's because you were correctly positioned. And so where you position yourself matters. Have you put yourself out there for people to see? Are you telling people about your vision and your dreams? Are you demonstrating your talents when it matters? Are you giving your 300% when you can? If you do all of that, when they said, once you plant, everything that is planted and nurtured will grow. And in support of you, we want you to know that as you continue to plant, as you continue to invest in your life and the life of others, the big God out there in the universe is going to make sure that you succeed in partnership with people like ourselves and Synthesis. And I want to end off by thanking Synthesis as my final statement, just to say, behind every successful organization like Afrika Tikkun is an organization that understands that the youth is our future. And organizations like Synthesis have shown that the economic imperative of developing the next generation of productive citizens is something that they take seriously. So thank you very much to the Synthesis team, to Sue-Ann, to Michael, to all the people who have rooted for hundreds of young people to be developed through this partnership and to go into careers where they are beginning to be appreciated for what they can contribute to the economy. So thank you very much, and we really appreciate your investment in us, and thank you for changing lives with us.
Eldrid, over to you. Some final thoughts from you.
So, Howard, I'm going to leave 3 pieces of advice. The first one is, remember, every decision in life has consequences. And so just make sure that those decisions that you make and take, think about them carefully, because they have consequences. The second one is, make sure that you follow your purpose. We are all here for a reason. And I believe that if you follow your purpose for the right reason, amazing things are going to happen. And then finally, never give up. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do it. Remember, you are the next Mark Lubner. You are the next Nelson Mandela. You are the next Motti Sachs. And with those words, I'm going to leave with you and again say I'm very proud of you. I'm excited for you. And again, a massive thank you to Afrika Tikkun, a massive thank you to Synthesis. Keep on doing what you're doing. We need you more than ever before. Thank you again.
And thank you, everybody. So I have a favorite poem that I quote a lot, and I was just thinking about it during this time. And it's by Ijoma, and my pronunciation is too terrible, Ijoma Umebinyo. And it's called Start. It says, start now. Start where you are. Start with fear. Start with pain. Start with doubt. Start with hands shaking. Start with a voice trembling. But start. Start and don't stop. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Just start. And to me, this graduation was all about that. I wish you all the luck. I think that you guys are absolutely tremendous. Thank you, Onyi. Thank you, Afrika Tikkun. Thank you, Eldrid, for taking the time. Thank you, of course, as well to Synthesis and everybody involved in this. I think it's been spectacular. Be well and just start.